gentlemen, welcome to Touching Tips, a podcast dedicated to the world of PSVR2. My name is Karen Alive and Well, and I'll be introducing your hosts. From the west of Ireland, he is a visionary, a leader, a sensual and generous lover, as I can attest. Petrifying Pumpkins. Pumpkins was once a successful businessman before a tragic incident left him with stage 2 ligma of the mind. No longer able to run his multinational POG corporation, Pumpkins turned to his other passion, PSVR. Hence this channel and later podcast were born. Pumpkins is famous all over the world thanks to the various Easter eggs dedicated to him in PSVR exclusive Firewall 0 Hour. Most famously, if you go to the hangar map, in the air control tower, you will see radar screens with various aircraft designations that, when combined, spell out petrifying pumpkins. It really does make him better than you. From Mexico, he has many names: El Chupacabra, El Fuego, El Pasión. But around here we call him Mr. 777 or Jackpot. Mr. 777 moved to the United States as a wee lad. A former Xbox fan, Jackpot gave up on Team Green when he discovered the future is virtual reality, and has been on PlayStation since. Jackpot lives with his mother, in her basement. She reached out to Pumpkins, begging him to let Jackpot be a co-host as she worries about his lack of social communication skills, as you will soon see for yourselves. He turned to marijuana at a young age and has reached a stage where if he were to ever stop smoking, the shock to his system would kill him immediately. Jackpot has a heavily stained pillow that he calls Amanda. He believes that she is real and that he is in a long-term relationship with her. His catchphrase is, "Bitch." And finally, all the way from the frigid wastes of Canada, comes Muzz. Muzz has a passion for maple syrup and discussing PSVR2. He once got lost in the frozen tundra of northern Canada with his best friend. The ordeal was harrowing and led to Muzz eating the remains of his friend in order to survive. Shortly after, Muzz turned to VR gaming as a way to escape the horrors of the reality he leaves every time he puts on the headset. It's worth noting that while Muzz maintains his best friend was dead before he began to consume him, later studies of the remains hinted at the possibility that the friend died from infections that were caused from bites, though due to a handling error, the evidence was deemed inadmissible and Muzz walked free. He also has a cat. Without further ado, let the show begin. I've been Karen Alive and Well, and I will now hand you over to the strong, sexy hands of Pumpkins. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
What the fuck is this?
Weird. Yeah, you're in the right box. You're in the right box, but you're muted. So now you're unmuted, so they should be able to hear you if you speak.
Shit. Test.
Test. 1, 2,
Test.
3. Testicle, questicles.
Test.
Any questicles out there recovered from the outage today where they couldn't?
Oh shit,
use
Muzz!
their
Wait, hold
headset?
on, Muzz. Oh, Muzz. I didn't see him until right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a while now. He doesn't know his mic is muted. He doesn't know his mic is muted, but he's been doing a little dance for us for a long time now. Let me check the chat, see who's been there. LSB is there, Roy Schwartz is peeping, Virus is there, and Darren Green says Cube viewer will be delayed again. Cube, yeah. Is that a confirmed? I think it was supposed to come out February and they pushed it to March. I don't know if you know about Cube, but it's that Minecraft looking game, except it looks like it has like ray tracing and like really nice visuals and shit.
I think I've seen it. Hold on, the light looks fucking weird. Let me try to fix it.
Why is he gotta cover the camera to fix the light? What's that mean? What does he not want us to see is the question. He's got no pants on, that's what it is. He has no pants on.
I got no pants on. So.
It's just hanging out. LSP says I don't know Muzz was Asian. Is that an Asian man?
Is he? I can't take this shit off. There we go.
I don't know. I don't know if that's an Asian man. What does he do? You change the light at all? I don't know.
Got some moves though.
Where's the gamer light gone?
There's no gamer light, bitch. It's the TV, and I turn it off.
I'm gonna lose viewers. Anyway, you might be wondering where Muzz is. was at the last minute came down with a nasty case of chlamydia, and sadly can't join us because he's getting it treated right now. However,
Lots of creams.
unfortunately, Jackbot did manage to show up. So, Jackbot, how you doing?
I'm fine without chlamydia, so I'm doing fine.
Just the syphilis
You
for
know,
you.
it could be better. Just a couple bumps here and there.
Few herpes.
But good. You know, I've been playing the Helldivers. Ooh, I played a little bit Decepticon and LSB, the Contractors game.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. Tell me about that because I know we can't have it on PSVR2 because they won't confirm it's coming to PSVR2.
It probably will. I mean, I think this game, it's the best battle royale, and just fuck, dude, it's gonna be like, in my opinion, it could be like a system seller, right? Like a Quest seller or like a PSVR2 kind of seller, because the graphics are not amazing, but they're not bad. But the gameplay, everything about it, dude, the attachments, the way that the guns feel, it feels kind of like Warzone a little bit, but obviously in VR. It's as close as Warzone as you can get in VR. It reminds me of the gameplay a little bit of kind of Warzone with what's this fucking game? It's hardcore battle royale. What's it called?
PUBG.
Fuck. PUBG. Yeah, similar to PUBG. It's really cool with all the attachments you can do, the stuff you can carry, the backpack, all the VR mechanics. That game is for me probably one of my, if not my favorite VR games, and I barely fucking played it, dude. I think that game is gonna be the fucking shit when it comes out, and I think it will come on PSVR too.
Am I right in saying it's like 44 or 46 players? Is that like the max?
I think it's 40 something or 45, maybe 60, but I think it's more close to 45.
Okay.
And it doesn't feel, too many players. It doesn't feel like there's not enough players. Like I said, so far everything that I played, and I didn't play it a lot. We played only a couple, like 3 times. But dude, that game, you'll see, that game is gonna be the shit.
What's the furthest you met us? Have you won a match?
Fuck no.
Trash.
No, with
Absolute
Decepticon and
trash.
LSB.
So you can do
You know how those
you can
guys
do
are.
trios, or like what's the squad layouts you can do?
You can do solo, duos, or trios, but if you play solo, I think it just dumps you in the same match with duos and trios, because yeah, I play by myself. I play by myself, and there was clearly a squad of 3 players, and they fucked me up. But
Well, that's fucked up.
to a point, but I mean, if you still don't want to play by yourself, I mean, with other people, I think it's nice that they give you the ability. And yeah, it might be a little bit harder, but not every time you're gonna, find 3 people. And also, I think eventually, when there's more player base and they release the game, which I hope they release it at affordable price, they might separate, duos only or singles only or something like that. But right now, with the player base, because it was open beta, I don't think they did that. But everything about that game, dude, for me, it's really good. Everything, really, really good.
How long is the beta open for? Do you know?
It's still open, but it's only on the weekends. I think there's 2 more weekends that the beta is open, like Friday night, I think, and they close it Sunday night. And then I don't know when they release it, but I'm hoping that not soon after the beta, because yeah, dude, I'm telling you, we have to bitch about these people to bring it to PSVR 2.
Yeah, like they've already been bitched at, and I've seen their responses. They're like, "We're looking into it." Like last year, they were like, "It's coming to every major VR headset," and then this year they're like, "We're looking into us, but it's not officially on our plans yet," or something along those lines. Like they won't commit to us, which makes me sick to my stomach.
Well, I think maybe thinking in the future a little bit, I do think this game is gonna be extremely successful, like really fucking successful in the Quest and PC. And I hope that they make so much money that they're willing to risk bringing this game to the PSVR 2 and obviously make this crossplay, which I'm pretty sure they would. But I'm hoping that's what happens.
If Sony are throwing money at Capcom for Resident Evils, why can't they go over to these lads and throw them, a cool mill? I don't know how much it costs. I don't know how much it costs to port over. It might be more than $1 million. Maybe 10 million or something. No, that's too much.
No, I don't know, but
maybe 2 million.
I hope they take the risk because we need this game. Trust me, dude. We need this game on the. It'll be one of those games that we will play all the fucking
Yeah.
time, like a firewall type game. I feel like.
But if it skips PSVR2, that's just another red flag. You know, I've been putting up red flags for a long time now about PSVR2 and the health of it, and like Rec Room developers like telling us no, we're not putting this on PSVR2. And if these guys skip it as well, it's like, you know, how long are we going to ignore the warning signs? Alt Action is there. How you doing, Alt Action? Nice to see you again. LSB says, I didn't know. Oh, I did read that already. I must have missed Alt Actions earlier. Shane Humberstone, nice to see you again. Says, how you doing? Doing well, I hope. I'm not doing too bad. Actually, I'm feeling a little bit sick. I think whatever Muzz has, he's giving it to me. Chlamydia, I guess. Darren Green says, Undead Citadel has disappeared completely. Uh-oh. What do you mean disappeared completely? From this, like, was it wishlistable on the store and it's gone? Or do you mean like the developers have vanished from the social medias and shit? Or what do you mean? War Room is there, says, smash the likes, ye bums. Damn. I just realized Donnie isn't here. It could be Donnie pretending to be War Room. I'm not too sure.
No.
Tasuki says, must bathe in some expired maple syrup. I suspect maple syrup is like...
distracted.
Can't take his eyes off us. I suspect like maple syrup probably never goes off though. It probably like would last. Like honey never goes off either, does it?
No, I think it does have an expir. I'm pretty sure the maple syrup, like these ones, have expiration. But I don't know. Maybe the ones in Canada are like some fucking way
pure.
they last
Pure
forever.
maple.
But I don't know, dude. It's a good question. We have to ask Musk.
Darren Green says PSVR2 on PC? Question mark. We did cover that last week on Touch and Tips, but I mean, we can go over it again quickly if you want. Basically, we don't know what it means. You know, we don't know if it means you plug in the PSVR2 headset directly into the PC with the help of an adapter that you have to buy, or if you have to use the PS5 as a middleman. I mean, I think the thing that makes them like, I don't think they can use PS5 as a middleman, like bridges that way. I think the most logical thing to do, because it seems like they need to do a hardware thing. You can't just plug it into the PC with the USB-C thing. So what makes the most sense is that they sell like an adapter thing that you can order online from them for, I don't know, knowing them probably $90 or $100 or something like that. And
for an adapter?
For an adapter, yeah. But apparently like
bitch.
apparently the Steam Link adapter or something like that is similar in price. I don't know anything about streaming from PC to other headsets because I'm not in that like ecosystem. You are, but some of these other ones need adapters and they cost a pretty penny because fuck all people are going to buy them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. They'll probably bump it as much as they can, but I figure it'll be an adapter, kind of like the what is it? The camera? I think it's the camera, right?
Yeah. But that was
the
like
camera has that type
that
of
was
adapter.
basic shit. I think if they do this, it's going to need some like software and like a decoder or some shit like that. I don't know.
I feel like they might. It's not gonna be just plug and play. Like I feel like you're right. They might have a physical adapter, but I think they might also have to have their own like software, kind of like the what we call about last time, the remote play, whatever. You know, they have their own app and shit. Or maybe they have something like that. But I think that's what I feel like it's going to be. That, and then you're gonna be able to play PC VR games. Like instead of using a Quest, use the PlayStation, and hopefully developers can use that, the power of the not only the headset but the feedback to use all that stuff and update the games for that. But best case scenario will be that they have like a store, like their own. I mean, I guess people will fucking hate it because they want Steam VR, but their own place where you can play the VR games there. But they have the PlayStation VR2 games, or some of them ported over to the PC, kind of like the fight games. Well, that's trash. But anything else, right? I mean, Gran Turismo, and that's impossible. But
nothing else.
Well, then don't no thanks. Just give me let me play Phasmo with the PSVR2 and.
No, I do think they've said. I don't know if it's a rumor or if they've actually said it, but it's definitely like a thing where Sony are planning on bringing a storefront to PC. So I know some people are. I saw like a Digital Foundry video where they were talking about this, and they were like, no, they should have learned from Epic. Nobody wants anything other than Steam. This is a big mistake and blah blah blah. But that seems stupid to me. You're just going to let Steam have everything to themselves and let them have a monopoly over there? Is it not healthy to have competition? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been involved in the PC for many years, but one thing I noticed that people are very specific about that. When games are not in Steam, they get very pissed.
It's crazy. It's just a launcher. It's just like you click on something else. That's
I
all you have
think
to do.
I think it might be just a more of a pain in the ass, but I don't know. Again, I'm not. Maybe somebody
But
in
if
the
you're
chat
like
that
if you're into PC VR, then you should be used to pains in the ass. Like you got to download this. You got to make sure this
it's really
driver
it really
matches up
isn't
and blah blah blah.
it really isn't that bad as you're making it.
It's bad
It
enough.
is
It's
more
bad enough.
well bad enough, but hey, that's the way that it is. Either
But I'm
like
just
that
saying,
or
like
we play
like
VR games or
another launcher is like really simple compared to setting up PC VR. You know, you download their launcher,
mean,
you double click it to open it, you hit the launch button on the game that you own there, and that's it.
listen, if we have to do that way, I personally don't give a fuck, but I do know that there's a lot of people that really care about that. But I wouldn't give a fuck as long as we can play some of those Sony games, whatever launcher they want. I don't give a fuck. I'll do
Especially if
that.
they can link it to PS5 so that you can see like your PlayStation friends and get trophies on the PC as well. That would be like that. I think
Yeah,
that would
I mean,
ease
if they
people
can
in.
do that, that'll be cool. Yeah.
Where was I? Alt Action says, yeah, we need that Contractors Showdown game. We do. I agree. It's a bad luck that it's not confirmed for us yet, but hopefully that changes. Maybe they're just so focused on the Quest and PC version that they're not even wanting to think about it yet. Contractors looked good from LSB's stream, says Warroom. I haven't seen anyone stream yet. So I watched a little bit of GT's like edited video to get an idea of what it looked like, and it did look very similar to, like they looked like they were like ripping off Call of Duty Warzone. Is there anything
not
it
bad.
does? Is there anything it does that like no other battle royale game does? Obviously, it's in virtual reality, so that's kind of unique enough. But
It's a combination. It's cool because it has a combination of a lot of games. Again, for me, the gameplay is one of the most important things, and it feels really, really cool. It feels a little bit hardcore for me, and it also has a bunch of different things. Like you have a little fucking, I don't know, like a map, just a fucking like a phone thing on your chest, and you can see the map, and you grab little chips that you find on the fucking floor, right? One of the things, and you put the chips, different things. Some of them are decoys. Remember, like Battlefield 1, did you ever play that shit? And you have like a decoy,
yeah, the
like for
balloon
snipers.
things. Yeah,
Right, so there's decoys like actual players in there, so people think that there's an actual player. There's like airstrikes, kind of airstrikes similar. You point at the fucking shit to point, and then can put airstrikes. There's different types of stuff like that. There's little vending machines throughout the map that you can buy with cash that you find in the map as well. You can buy, I think, ammo or maybe guns. I don't know exactly what you can buy. You can also buy insurance, which is you can get revive. A bunch of different shit like that. I think they got a lot of the good things about those battle royale games, and they put them all in one. All the good things about them. Because like I said, I haven't heard people complain about this game when it comes down to maybe I couldn't get in or whatever it is. But gameplay wise and everything, what it's going, it like I said, it in my opinion, it has a lot going for it, dude. It already is really, really good. Graphics are not bad at all. The gun, we talk about this in Firewall, right? You look at the guns in Firewall. And they're fucking beautiful, right? The models of the guns. You'll be surprised how good the model of these guns are also in the game, even for Quest 2. So, like I said, it's really good, dude.
right, so I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about it. Not one time.
So it's dope.
Roy Schwartz says small breakout box. Yeah, I don't know. They'll probably want to avoid the word breakout box, but I can imagine there being some little adapter that you plug. The USB-C thing has to go into it. It'll probably be small, like really small, so that it doesn't look like something that you would call a box, maybe like a memory stick or something. But well, listen, obviously we don't know. Maybe they will do like you need a PS5 and a PSVR2 and a PC all working together, and the PS5 is the bridge, and there's something you download on the PS5 to stream it over or some shit like that. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Chopped is here.
Lag.
How you doing, Mr. Chopped? He says, can someone tell Muzz to put a shirt on? He can't put a shirt on because he's covered in maple syrup. Think about
get it all
it. Chopped,
sticky.
you're going to get his shirt all sticky? Come on.
Chopped.
When did Muzz become a maple syrup stripper? Just today. He's trying it out. He's trying to earn some extra cash. He's got his own separate stream going with like a donation, like tipper bar thing. You top it up, and when it gets to $1,000, he can get himself something special, which we won't spoil. Jolf is here. He says, do we need to look on that guy in the middle all the time? Well, Jolf, You get to look at the guy in the middle all the time. That's my answer to you.
You're welcome.
Yes, for free, by the way, for free. Um, anyway,
Any other Canadians in here, or is this Muzz?
do we have other Canadians? I don't know. Anyway, I forgot that we actually have a show going on with things planned. We were just talking about
Do
contractors.
we? You didn't send me anything.
I kind of just want to talk about contractors. I don't need to send you anything because you can't read. Chop says, no, I can't give no dollar redos. That's fine. Give it to Muzz. Go over to his Etsy page and buy his sculptures. First topic of the day is Beat Saber. Everybody's favorite VR game, and I do mean everyone. I'm not even lying when I said that because I think is this the most sold VR game of all time?
Probably, unfortunately. Yeah.
Probably is. Anyway, they're doing a pack for Daft Punk, which is probably the most exciting one I've seen ever.
Yep.
Daft Punk, of course, legendary French robots who sing iconic songs in a robot voice that we all know and enjoy. So that might be worth installing this again. I don't know.
Is it free?
No, it's not free. Of course, it's not free. I don't know
I
what
mean,
the
of
price
course.
is, but they haven't even revealed the list of tracks coming for it yet. But it will be out on the 7th, which is what day is today?
2 days from now. 5th.
Thursday then. Am I right? Yeah, Thursday.
Sure.
It's tricky for me because it's after midnight, so I gotta work out things. Anyway, that's all I want to say about that. But there is other Beat Saber news, so we might as well address it while this topic is up. You might remember, like last year, maybe it was 2 years ago, like Jaroslav Beck, who was one of the co-founders, he left Beat Games, and he went on to do, like, I think he started like a drink company, like soda or whatever. So that's what he did. But then there was 2 remaining co-founders, but now they've left as well. They were the creative director and the CEO, and they're gone. They're stepping down. One of them said, it's time to move on, and I trust the team, etc., etc. And the other guy didn't give a reason for why he left. I don't know if that's something to be concerned about. Maybe the sales are finally starting to slow down for Beat Saber, and they're like, all right, let's get out of here. Let's get into Coca-Cola with our other pal.
Oh, they're loaded, and they're like, yeah, we're done with this. Let's just go make bigger money over here. But
yeah, I guess they can probably just live off the music packs for the rest of their lives if they just like whatever developers are left.
Yeah, but I don't think it's worrisome because I mean it's a fucking probably most sold game, so I don't think they're they're stopping, unfortunately. Not because I want them to not do good, it's just like I would like other games to be, the most sold games.
Do you think there'll ever be a Beat Saber 2?
Maybe.
Excuse me.
Probably not. Maybe if they come up with some like, the Quest 3 has that mixed reality shit, and like maybe 2 more generations, because they're gonna milk the shit out of this Beat Saber 1. But maybe in the future, if there's some other crazy feature that they can add, but I don't think so soon.
If the hardware changes drastically enough for them to do something really different.
Yep.
But right now, why would they? I suppose they're still making crazy money, and they're putting out these DLC packs, which I'm sure is bringing in more crazy money. Chaps over here says,
no.
Yeah, although they are doing GTA 6, he says, no, I'm over here throwing up, never having syrup again. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? Because syrup is unhealthy. So you're welcome. You and Joel are both welcome. SDS is here. He says Sifu is out today. Yeah. There you go.
Did you play that already?
No, I didn't. I was waiting for the PS Plus to come out.
Try that shit.
I heard mixed things.
I wish there was
about it,
multiplayer. Mixed things?
Yeah, I've heard mixed things.
From who?
Like when it came out originally. Maybe it's changed with patches and stuff, but
maybe people because they're little bitches because it's too hard for them.
It's a hard game.
I mean, it can be. I think now they put different difficulties, but it's not an easy game. But it's sick, dude. Game is really cool, right. And they have it on the if you have a PC, try it on the VR mod thing, wherever the injector. It's cool, dude. In VR, it's clearly fucking better. But yeah, it's a nice game.
Nice. I'll give it a download. I assume it's like not that big anyway, file size wise. Important says that's fake imitation maple syrup. It is, because he would never waste legit maple syrup. Chap says, okay, enough maple syrup, guy. This ain't that kind of stream. Why can't you take your eyes off him, Chopped? He's staying on the screen.
Control yourself, Chop. That's fine.
Space Denizen says, what the fuck is up? How you doing, Space Denizen? And Brannon is here. How you doing, Brannon? And everyone having a kumbaya session in the chat. But yeah, that's it about Beat Saber. Don't really care too much about the CEO and co-founders leaving, because they're owned by Meta, so it might not affect us too much on PSVR2 land. Anyway, but this next one will. Formula 1 2024. They've announced it's coming. They've announced it's coming to PC, it's coming to PlayStation, it's coming to Xbox. The PC version, they've once again has said on the Steam store, like the listing on the Steam page or whatever, it says VR support. On the PS5 version, there's no sign of any PSVR2 support, which is what they did last year as well. I still don't understand it. I mean, I understand not putting PSVR2 support in. I don't understand why you would do it for PC but not PSVR2. That's the part that's making me scratch my head.
You think it's really that much money to, if you're already making the VR port or whatever, the fucking, mode.
Yeah.
Would it be that much more money to fucking make it on the PlayStation? Because why wouldn't you want to get more sales, Because a lot of people will buy this fucking game, because a lot of people are into racing games, and I heard this game is, for the most part good. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, well, Formula 1 has like a big following. And as good as like Gran Turismo 7 is, if you're just into Formula 1, it's like there's only a few Formula 1 cars in that game. It's not going to scratch your itch. It's not that kind of game.
Yep. No.
But like, I'm just surprised that they even bother with the PC version, if that's the case. Like, why do it at all? I can understand them saying, listen, there's no PSVR2 user base. We're not going to make money if we do it. Fair enough. But you're not going to make it on PC either, are you? Like, is it...
But they're going to make more money than the PSVR2, because I haven't seen the graph lately, but the graph of VR users, Quest or PC VR people with Quest, I think I don't know, maybe it's not, but there's more people that they can reach that way instead of the PSVR2. I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's with years of, like, those other headsets been out for years, whereas I'm not saying PSVR2 is going to catch up or anything like that, but, obviously the older ones are going to have a bigger install base.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to reach a different audience, like more people. I don't know. I'm assuming it's just expensive to port it, but I don't like, people really like racing games. If it was, no offense, some other like weird shitty game, shooting that nobody knows, I get it. But this is, like you said, it's a well-established franchise. I've heard good reviews overall about this franchise, and like you said, there's nothing out there, because Gran Turismo has a couple of these, but it's not the same game, so it's odd.
Yeah,
it sucks though.
Let's see. We'll see. EA are behind it, so we'll just blame EA, like everyone likes to do anyway.
I hate EA. They ruined FIFA. I used to love FIFA. I bought every FIFA since FIFA France 98, and then I stopped, I think 2013 or something. I was like, fuck this.
Damn, you're not a big FC fan now that they've changed their name.
No, I played it on the I think I had the EA Pass or whatever the fuck on the Xbox that has that on the PC, whatever. And I don't know. I lost interest. I used to watch soccer a lot back in the day, but now, like 15 years ago, I switched to just
porn,
UFC and. No, that was before. No, like UFC.
Competitive
more
gay
like fighting. Competitive. What is it? Car jiu-jitsu. I was on YouTube the other day. Dudes in the car just have jiu-jitsu matches. It's fucking weird. That's weird. Anyways, but yeah.
Chaos is here. How you doing, Chaos? He says, for some reason, I'm craving pancakes. I don't know why. SDS says, Arizona Sunshine 2 is a phenomenal game. I can't stop playing. And that's another one I've been hearing. Like, I'm waiting for a sale on that one. Like, I've heard it's good, but I've heard some people say maybe it's not worth the asking price.
Which is full price, right? Was it $60?
It was either 55 or 60. I think it's like a special edition there as well, so...
Fuck, that's a lot of money.
Brandon does not care for Beat Saber. Me neither. But it's worth mentioning. Just for Daft Punk, because, I was actually listening to a bit of Daft Punk last night. or the night before, whenever it was. I don't know. So I thought it was a coincidence that news popped up. Anyway, Important says Muzz finally got the surgery to transition to Asian. I can't see him as Asian. Maybe my eyes are just so bad. He just looks like a white person to me. They are bad, I know, but yeah.
You can't even see the brand. That's the fucking log cabin maple syrup. That's the best kind.
That's the good. I got the good stuff on display.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
You're welcome.
For me, that's the best one.
I bet it is. Brandon says Formula 124, no gameplay showed yet. PC viewer and no PSVR2. Indeed. You would imagine it's not going to be too much different from Formula. Like if this is a yearly annual release like FIFA's, like they never reinvent the wheel, really, do they? So it's probably going to be fairly similar, but like they'll update the cars and the tracks or whatever a little bit.
Graphics a little bit and shit like
that. Joel, I'm sorry if I'm not. Maybe is it just Joel F, like a surname, or is it Joel F, like a full first name? I don't know. He says, thank you. Hi to all. Love your streams. Thank you very much, Joel F. I appreciate that. Brandon says, you should be able to play it on PSVR 2 with Stream Link eventually. Yes, but no good for me on PS5 with no PC, a gaming PC. Joel says, what do you think about player character shaking every time he hits the enemy in Legendary Tales? It makes me sick. I need an option to switch it off. I haven't actually noticed that. Have you noticed that? The player,
no,
like your character shaking every time you hit an enemy.
No, I haven't noticed that, but we barely played it, so
maybe it's a setting thing. I don't know, Joel. It's not something I've noticed. Maybe you're just more sensitive to it than we are. Anyway, DJ Zeri says, oi, what the fuck? Don't worry about us. Muzz is okay. No questions about Muzz. He's with Karen now. Understand? Anyway, next topic is this surprising game, which I clicked on this. I thought it was going to be some anime trash. I wasn't expecting it to be this, but basically... And first of all, let me thank Johnny Lobster for posting this in the Discord, because I wouldn't have known about it otherwise. But it's an earth-bending 1v1 martial arts game that's coming to PSVR 2. So right now it's coming to PC, but they said once that version is done, they'll be working on the PSVR 2 version. And if you see the trailer there, I know it's very quick, but it's like a 1v1, you're in an arena and you're like summoning shapes out of the ground like earth. So this earth bending thing, which is apparently based on a cartoon, like you're basically like telekinetically throwing things at each other, and then you're lifting one up as a shield to block up what they're throwing at you, and then it's like dodgeball kind of, except with big balls of clay and earth and shit, you know.
Boo.
So it looks kind of shitty in terms of like visuals when you're in the game, but the idea of it, I think, like maybe it could be fun. Could be like a Spark type game where you're getting that bit of, you know,
maybe
back and forth, or C Smash or something like that.
It has to be the price, because porting this game is coming. It's on PC. It says now on Quest, and they're bringing it to PSVR 2. So it has to be a money thing, right? Because why are they bringing this game to PlayStation VR 2 and like some other games? They're not. It has to be because this game, no offense, looks like it's a lot smaller than other games, a lot shittier. So maybe it's cheaper to port it, or what the fuck's going on?
Well, I mean, this is like nothing to do with Sony or Meta or anything. This is like an independent developer, and they're like, you know, they've just made the decision for whatever reason. You know, maybe they think they can make money. Maybe they do believe in PSVR 2 having a brighter future, and you know, they're kind of, it's still early days for PSVR 2. Maybe things could change, and maybe, like you said, it wouldn't cost them too much to do it.
Maybe.
You know, I mean, there's probably like a million different reasons.
Isn't there somebody in the chat, maybe not right now, but that she works at the Saints and Sinners?
Oh, sorry, no, Gamer Chick.
Gamer Chick. We should ask her if it's expensive to port that shit.
Well, I'm sure, like, her game is like pretty big though, you know, like that's maybe not AAA, but at least AA, and it's a big IP. It's well known. There's a lot of stuff going on in this. Whereas this,
but she might have an idea of a little bit of like how much. If it's like, yeah, it's fucking very expensive regardless, or like, yeah, depending on the game. But I'm just curious because some of these other games are not too big and they still don't come. But whatever.
DJ's right, Tiffany. Yes, but I thought you might recognize Gamer Chick, so that's why I say Gamer Chick. That's what she goes by on YouTube. But I think I was just talking to LSB about this on Discord before we went live, that remember that big Capcom leak? Because he was on about, do we have proof that Sony funded the development of Resident Evil 7 VR? And then it was leaked that they paid $5 million for them to make Resident Evil 7 VR. So I don't know if that gives you some kind of an idea of what the porting costs might be. Although, that probably includes exclusivity as well. Plus, it's a massive game, AAA. So maybe not. But yeah, I'm kind of a little bit interested in this one, I would say. It's been made by Buckethead Entertainment. Yeah, just by like purely gameplay wise, like, I mean, it's probably another one that I'd smash in a TV if it was nearby.
I was gonna say, ask for a code and make sure you have a camera like outside of you so you can see.
Stream. I got a camera on my head. Got the camera on my head, built in. But yeah, it could be fun. Obviously, like if it's laggy, I can imagine it being horrible. Like if I was playing against you and like a big distance like that, it might introduce a bit of lag and it might be trash. But who knows?
Who knows?
Donnie has arrived. How you doing, Donnie? He says, where are the other bending styles? Just earth bending, as far as I know. Could be a bit of semen bending going on in this chat later on, if we keep looking at that Muzz gif, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, Royce, Saints and Sinners 1 and 2 are bundled for $30 dues. Good value.
Nice.
That's some good value right there. And we move on to the next topic, shall we? Shall we?
Yes. Right. What do you think? I want to keep talking about this.
Gotta make sure you're active over there and you're awake. Anyway, Madison. I don't have much to say about Madison, but Perp Games, who are the publishers of this game, have tweeted out that this week basically we'll be hearing. I'll just read what they said. Blue Knees, who is the name of like the monster in this game, I assume because when he was alive he was given blowjobs all the time, so that's why he's got bruises on his knees. He'll be visiting. Nice. He'll be visiting some of your favorite content creators this week. So I'm expecting. Ignore that date on the screen, by the way. It's been delayed. I'm expecting, previews from. I know Gamertag retweeted it, so probably him. Probably PSVR Without Parole. Maybe some big ones like IGN or something, because Madison is kind of a well-known game. So maybe they might get some attention from the big ones too, which I hope they do for their sake, as long as it's a good game. And I think they also confirmed as well, somebody in the tweets, or the replies in the tweet says, can you confirm if this game will have foveated rendering? And they said, yes, it will. So there you go.
Nice.
A W for the boys and the girls on PSVR 2.
Yeah, this is probably one of my few anticipated games. This one, and then the Aces fucking flying game.
Aces of Thunder, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be too scared to play this, though.
I probably will play it.
But you better stream it if you do, though. Are you going to stream it?
No.
Why not?
You'll make fun of me.
Yeah. So.
If I buy it, I guess I'll stream it. Yeah,
you better. This is like I don't want to say full length, but I think it's the same game as the flat one, so it's the full flat game, which might
8 hours maybe.
Something like that, but size, obviously I suppose it depends on how slowly you go through it. But I don't think it'll be like Resident Evil 4 length or anything like that. Important says, looking forward to seeing AI that can port flat games to VR. That should be trivial compared to the other expectations researchers have. That's a good idea, actually. Can you imagine if they can just forget Prey Dog? What if Prey Dog is an AI?
Damn,
he's like the early prototype version? Could be. Makes sense now, doesn't it? That's why Sony couldn't get him, because whoever owns him has got the copyright on him. He's an intellectual property of like Google or some shit.
And
it's all making sense.
Bill Gates or something.
Bill Gates, his blue knees.
Probably. It looks like he would.
I don't even know why I said it. Didn't make any sense. Thought you were answering the question. SDS says Warzone. Oh, sorry, that's a funny one. Danny, you're on about Muzz's nickname, Blue Knees. SDS says Warzone Mobile is launching 21st of March. Man, if you thought I had no respect for Quest gamers, wait till you hear about how little respect I have for people who play on their mobile phones. Disgusting. Just as even Quest is above that.
At least play it in VR if you're gonna use a mobile chip, you know.
Chops has got to bounce. It's going to take me an extra hour to be ready for the lady with this monster over time. It's going straight to Pornhub now to psych himself up. Have a good time.
He need to release himself before the lady comes in.
It's going to have the something about Mary situation.
What the hair?
Where's the hair gel gone?
Take a picture.
But yeah, Phasmophobia.
Oh.
Sorry, not Phasmophobia. Madison. Previews coming out this week. Expect them. Hands on. Not
Just
reviews. Not
$30.
reviews. I don't think. No, they've given the
$30.
price. Didn't they already give the price? Maybe it was 40. I can't fucking remember now.
You're the host.
We talked about it already. All right, go watch the older episodes if you want to know information. I can't be expected to remember prices all the time. It's unreasonable.
Madison VR $40.
$40 readers. There you go.
$39.99.
You're good for something. You're good for something. Speaking of you being good for something, next topic is Phasmophobia, and how Jackpot predicted this game was going to come out in March, and he said that if it didn't come out in March, he was going to show his asshole on stream.
God damn it, fine. No,
Listen,
I never said that.
This is a whole topic here, so you gotta do something.
Listen. If Sony, I was like you. Well, you're still delusional, but I was a little bit like you. I was like, well, it's Sony. Maybe they're not that bad. Maybe it's just something going on. Maybe. And now, no, we've been bamboozled this whole time. They lie. They've been screwing everybody. All the developers. They're screwing with Firewall. They're screwing with Madison getting delayed. With Ghost of the Boar. They're screwing with Phasmo. So otherwise, I would have been right on all of them. You know?
I think that initially they refused the Phasmophobia certification or whatever, but since then, Kinetic Games, or is that the name of them? I think it's Kinetic Games. They themselves have been holding it back. Like they've been like, okay, let's add this, and this, and then we'll put it through Sony again with all this new stuff where it's on par with the PC version because we've got this new shop system. We've got this and that. We want it all up to par.
But do you think they will prefer to do that instead of releasing it? Because I feel like people's moisture levels are dropping considerably the more they wait. I think people would prefer to this game to come out than to wait until they have whatever other cool stuff they got. Because this game was ready like content, in my opinion. Back in the fucking day when we first started playing this game, there was not a lot of this stuff. That game would have been perfect to come out. So for me, the game has been ready content-wise. We need this fucking game.
Yeah, but if every time they post anything on Twitter or whatever, all the replies are filled with "Where's the console version?" Because remember, this is coming to PS5 and Xbox as well. So it's where's the console version? Where's this? Where's this? They're constantly harassed with that. So all they would have to do is say, "Sorry, Sony, you're holding us up," you know, and then all the heat is off them. But they don't do that. They did it at first.
Shit about Sony.
Well, they don't have to say talk shit. Just say, "Oh, we're having trouble getting it through, QA or."
Well, they already said that before, so what's the point? How many times do they have to repeat themselves? It's like there's no new news.
But then they changed it. They changed it though. They said that at first, and then they said, "No, we're not going to put it out until it has the shop up. It has this. It has that." They're not saying it's about QA anymore or certification.
Because they probably have to deal with Sony being bitches, or like, you know what? What's the point of trying to do this? Let's just make sure that it's so good now that they're not going to say no anymore, and we for sure are going to pass this. Might as well wait. I'm assuming that's more plausible. That could have happened.
What's the new prediction?
Remember, Sony's are bitches. There's no new prediction.
You have to have a new one. You have to have a new one.
Prediction is a PlayStation. Sell your PlayStation. Well, don't sell your VR2 if you have a PC. I don't know. Fucking 2027.
2027. All right. So if it comes out any sooner or any later, you have to show your ass.
It's probably gonna be by the fucking after summer, dude. Maybe again we're gonna have to wait until October.
It can't be October.
Sony's are a bunch of bitches.
It can't be out that long.
When is it coming out?
Oh shit, that should be. Donnie reminded me of a topic we should have had. It's coming out. It's going to drop either March or April.
No.
Yes.
And are you going to show your asshole too if it doesn't?
No. Do you want to see my asshole?
Well, no.
So what's the problem then? Anyway, Johnny says, "Walk about mini golf. is in base on mobile. It has Lost Balls and Fox Hunts. Looks good and is fun, but moving around without going straight to your ball is a bit troublesome if you don't know the course layouts. That reminded me, I should have had it as a topic, but Walkabout Mini Golf is getting a new course.
Yes.
Is it this Thursday? I think it's this Thursday. It's like an ice layer. Remember there was like a laser layer? Now they got like an ice one to go along with it. And you if your ball goes through like a freezing pool or something, it comes out like as an ice cube and it slides across the ground. So yeah,
that was a laser layer.
That's the one. Donnie says, I so want Phasmophobia. Me too, but as like Jackpot said, the moisture is like, the hype levels are dropping. They're dropping for me too. It's like I'm losing interest. I will obviously get it day one, and I'm sure the hype will go right back up again. But as it is now, when I thought it was coming out in August, and then I thought it was coming out again in October, and I was counting down the days, I'm not even bothering, It's like, whatever.
Disappointment after disappointment after disappointment with you and the PSVR 2.
Shut your mouth. I got Resident Evil 4. If no other game comes out, it was still worth it for Resident Evil 4. And 8. And Gran Turismo 7. And obviously Horizon Call of the Mountain. Brandon says, by the end of next winter, which, like, that's American. American winters is like, what, February? That's when they end?
December.
March? No, that's when they start. When do they end?
Yeah, February, March. I'm seeing the map with the penguins. It looks pretty good. The ice layer.
Oh, sorry. Mark Smith says, hello. Did you see the sale for PSVR 2? I assume you mean like a game sale on the store and not an actual sale on the headset itself. Because if it's a sale on the headset itself, we desperately need that. Minus is here. It says, smoke that weed up. How you doing, Mr. Minus? Nice to see you again. Can't wait to see Jackpot's image when he's not here. We already did that. We already had that. He missed an episode, and we had a Mexican fella with a sombrero. Was he playing the maracas?
He was not Mexican. He was an American, probably porn star looking dude with a sombrero.
Yeah.
Like 3 episodes ago.
Yeah, there you go.
$549 on the PlayStation Store or $600 for the bundle. So, but it says earn a $100 statement credit, whatever the fuck that is, when you buy a PlayStation VR 2.
Mark Smith says it's $400 for PSVR 2.
What? Where?
I don't know. Keep in mind now, Jackpot can't read, so bear with them.
PSVR 2 $379. This is refurbished.
Is it on their direct store?
Wait.
Mark Smith?
Okay, yeah, tell me where, because the direct store in America says $549. Refurbished, you can get one for $400. Refurbished at GameStop.
He says for
otherwise
headset and controllers, $399 for PS4.
Where at?
I don't know.
Where at? What's the store?
I'm waiting for him to say.
He's just bamboozling you.
He says it's for the US. He's not sure if it's global.
Yeah, but where in the US?
I don't know.
I'm in the US and I can't find it.
Oh, he says I believe it's refurbished for GameStop. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
That takes the hype out of it a little bit, Mark.
Yeah, because it's full of body fluids and
spiders and other people's sweat. Keep it. You can give me $400 to take that. Mark Smith, no, read that. SDS says,
damn, you got excited for a little bit.
I'm done with Sony. Why? Quest 3, get a Quest 2. Quest 3 doesn't have a single exclusive. Just get a Quest 2. It's like half the price now as well. Isn't it like $250 for a Quest 2 now?
$250 in some places you get a $50 gift card. Like I think Target at some point did it. You buy the Quest, you get a $50 gift card. If you're getting into VR or PC VR, if you want to save the money, it's really, in my opinion, not that worth. It's not worth it to spend it on the Quest 3 if it's just for that. And I know the exclusives are like pumpkin says they're not that many. So if I were you, depending on your situation,
don't say not that many. Zero, you bitch.
No, there's some lame fucking.
It's like Townsman.
Okay,
that's.
And like the fucking, isn't it Assassin's Creed? Is Assassin's Creed only in the Quest?
No, it's on Quest 2 and 3.
Oh, well, then you go. There's barely an exclusive.
But how's that exclusive? If it's on the 2 as well.
I said it's not. That's what I'm saying.
It is on the 2.
Exclusive.
Oh, there's not. Yeah, it's not. but that's like bad.
wrong with
That's
it?
not good.
I
Imagine,
know,
can you
that's what
imagine
I'm
if
saying.
PSVR 2 had no exclusives? Like none. And look how bad it
Yeah,
is
it
now
was
when
like-
they have these exclusives. Look how bad people talk
Yeah,
about it now.
but the PSVR 2 is, in my opinion, a really, really huge jump from the PSVR 1 because we got a new fucking, new fucking console and then the feedback on the controllers and all that. So I feel like it's different because the Quest 2 to Quest 3, I've heard, yes, if you ask the people that know about it, yeah, the fucking lenses and it's a little bit sharper, and if you get a PC VR, it's a little bit better and all this stuff, but I don't think it's that big of a leap. So I don't think it's like I said worth it unless you really want that. But like I said, fucking $250 for a Quest 2 is really, really good, especially if you get that gift card for $50. You can buy a bunch of games. I think that's the best deal.
By the way,
to be honest,
I know this is going to make me sound like a hypocrite to some people who feel this way about VR, but I think AOR is a gimmick. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. All right, Pokemon Go is the peak of AOR. Right? Don't talk to me about a spooky ghost in your house. It's like, that's not going to work. All right, it's not going to work.
it will work, but it's not gonna be. It's not gonna take over. I don't think it's gonna be as big as some people want it to
I
be.
mean, right now, that's the only reason you'd want a Quest 3. If you're big into AOR, otherwise go for a Quest 2. Or wait until the Quest 3 exclusives start to come out, whenever that happens. Maybe San
Or
Andreas.
you got money to blow, and you really, really, really care about like the PC connection being slightly better with the Wi-Fi and all that, like really
Pancake
specific.
lenses.
But yeah, but I think like Pumpkin said, for the most part, my opinion, yeah. It has better resolution, like LSB's saying. It's good. The Quest 3 is good. It's just like I said, if it's Quest 2, Quest 3, might as well save a lot of money.
Donnie says refurbishing products have gone through all the fixes and cleanup procedures. I know, I'm only talking shit. My phone here, Donnie, is a refurbished phone. All right. But unless if we're going to be putting PSVR 2 on sale, I mean, it just needs to be a permanent price cut from Sony themselves. The recommended retail price, not just a thing that GameStop are doing by themselves. It's not gonna.
But what needs to be that price, you think?
Needs to be
realistically
400. Not realistic, but it needs to be 400. And even that, I think, is like the magic number is what the Quest was, 299.
Well, you can't. You can't. Might
Unless
go bankrupt.
You don't do a PSVR 3. You keep the PSVR 2, and then when the PS6 comes out, it still works with the PS6, and then like it's older tech, it's cheaper by then. Maybe it's easier to cut the price in it when you get to that stage. Or something I've been thinking about is, what if they did a PSVR 2 Lite? Where they don't have eye tracking. Remove the eye tracking, because that's very expensive. Remove maybe HDR. Is it needed? Just anything to cut the price down. And because PSVR 1 did have foveas rendering, it's just that it wasn't dynamic. If you look at Resident Evil 7,
Isn't that the whole point? Isn't the whole point like for you the graphics and all this bullshit? So
no, not for me, but I'm just saying for getting the sales out there. For moving units. Like, I would still go for the PSVR 2 version, or like the premium version, I suppose you would call it, with the eye tracking.
Right. So basically, the same shit, but not as sharp graphics because it doesn't have the eye tracking, all that shit.
Yeah.
But I think it needs to have all the feedback on the controllers, on the headset.
Yeah, the controller is the same, so you can't lose that. But like, even if you take the eye tracking out, I think that's a fairly expensive feature by itself.
Yeah,
so maybe you knock 50 off just with that. I don't know.
How much that I wish that would be cool, but I don't see it possible. The amount of money that they're gonna cost them to get that prototype or that shit ready to go, and then have to sell it, and then maybe people won't still even buy it because there's no.
Well, they do like
no more games in the future that are really, really worth getting.
They did
a lot of them,
They did like a second version of the PSVR 1, didn't they? It's like I had the HDR pass through, and it changed the layouts of the buttons and shit like that. So.
Oh yeah, you're right, but it wasn't. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So it wasn't, but it wasn't a price change, was it?
It was still the same. Like, it just replaced what was already there, basically. But like the bones of it are there, the foundation is there. Just like swap the screen out for something, or the display for something less expensive. Get rid of the eye tracking. Like, you're just taking things away from it. You're not adding things.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it needs to be a combination of that and support for. All these games that are coming to Quest and PC to just bring it. Because we know that the fucking PlayStation is, in my opinion, the best place to play most of these VR games. So yeah, dude, it just fucking sucks because I really want all these other games to come out. Like now that I play Contractors, no offense, Ghost of Tabor, it's cool and all that, but I don't even fucking care about that game anymore. Dude, I really don't give a fuck about Ghost of Tabor
Oh
anymore.
man, that's
To
the
be
other
honest,
danger. That's
not
the other danger. Like waiting too long for your games to come out. Like something else will come in and steal
right.
your cheese. You know.
Yeah, yeah. That's completely true. So that sucks, but hey, it is what it is.
Brand says, I like my Quest 3 log. Don't buy Quest 2 for over $100.
Damn.
Alt Action says, what's the deal with Firewall Ultra then now? Is it worth playing knowing it's not getting any updates? I mean, the core game itself, in my opinion, other people will disagree, but you can just look at the recent stream we did of Firewall Ultra on my channel. It's in the archives. We had fun. We had a good time. We waited a little bit for a match, I think, for the second one at least. Like we had a team, they dropped, and then we were waiting a while, maybe 5 to 10 minutes to get the full team again. But then they stayed, and we were playing for like an hour solid. So
Yeah. What's the price right now? Tsuki's saying it's not worth a full price. What's the full price for Firewall?
$40.
$30?
$40 is full price.
Yeah, I think no, it's not worth it. I mean, it depends. If you ask Dan, yeah. I mean, it depends who you ask. I think for $40 for a game that it's not gonna that it's dead, as in the developers are not possibly doing a lot more content on it. I don't think it's worth it. I think this game needs to be. Fuck.
Yeah, but hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. It already has
What?
more maps than Breachers right now. It has more guns.
It's
than
not about
Breachers has
that.
right
It's
now.
not about
I'm
that.
not trying to
It's
shit
not
on
about
the Breachers right now. I'm just saying you're saying that it is not going to get any more. That's true. But what's there, I think, is still worth the price. In my
I know, but
opinion.
but it's weird because back in the day, it would, I think, not be a big deal. But I think now we're so used to buying games and expecting, and I know this is stupid, expecting DLC continuously support. I think it's going to turn off a lot of people for the $40. Now, to your point, yes, there's games like the Legendary Tales, where the fuck that game we played. It's cool and I like it, and I think that you can milk it, but I was like, fuck, man, that's like a lot of money. So either way, I have more fun with Firewall than a lot of other games, even though it doesn't have probably possible future. But it just depends who you ask. But I think $40, like Tasuki, I agree, it's a hard sell. But I do have a lot of fun overall, like Pumpkin says. Talk all the shit I want and whatever jokingly, but it's a really fucking fun game. Really, really fun game.
All right. I guess you have to make up your own mind, Alt Action. But I recommend like watching streams or whatever and trying to get a feel for it yourself. But it does look really nice in the headset. The stream will never do justice for that. That's true for any game, obviously. But
There's no physical copies, huh?
is there not? I didn't know that, or I didn't remember. So if there isn't,
I don't think there's not. Because I was gonna say if there's a used copy, just get a used copy and try it. And if you don't like it,
maybe
return it.
not.
Because you know.
physical's dying.
Damn, 2.51 stars. Sorry.
Alt Action says, "What's the?" No, never mind. I just read that. Ray Schwartz says the 256 gigabyte version is no longer available. I assume he's talking about the Quest 2. No bodily fluids, says Donnie. Try and stop me. Alt Action says, what condition is it in now? Well, we just kind of talked about that, I guess. Nihilist Ryan, the game feline, says, only thing Quest 3 really has that Quest 2 isn't is mixed reality. Yeah, so if you're into, like, if you believe that AOR is more than a gimmick, which I don't personally, but of course I can be wrong, then yeah, I can see why you'd want to get Quest 3. But I'd still wait for like a, like a killer app for AOR. Pokemon Go was kind of like that for phones, but I don't think the Quest 3 has a killer app for all, augmented reality that I'm aware of. AOR is better than Phasmophobia, says Brandon. Augmented reality is better than Phasmophobia? Agree to disagree, Brandon. Better resolution? Yeah, of course. Well, that's obvious. You're going from a 2 to a 3 in anything, you're going to have better resolution. But is that worth the price? Or is it worth jumping in now? I would wait for the big exclusive, or, obviously if you got loads of money to spend, then obviously get it right now, whatever. Durban Brown is here. How you doing, Durban Brown? Important says, you crazy. Someday AOR will replace your smartphone. I don't know.
Yeah, with the chip. some glasses.
The Elon Musk chip in your head.
Yeah, but for games, I don't think it's gonna in the future, like near future, replace it. I think it's too early. But yeah, I feel in the future, man, some fucking glasses, AR. We're gonna be able to move our fingers, and move shit around digitally.
LSB says Demio in AR mode is fire, but is it really though? I mean, all you're really doing is like it's like you're replacing the background of the game with your real life room. Like, what's that adding? Okay, you can see if someone is nearby. That maybe you don't bump
It's not
into
about
them.
that. It's having the game on your living room. It's like the Pokemon Go. It's the same shit, It's fucking little Pokemon.
Yeah, well, with
Pikachu
Pokemon Go,
running around in your house.
you're going out searching, like you're exploring and stuff. So that makes sense. But with Demio, it's like, oh, here's your table. The table you look at every day. It's like, oh, is it exciting?
And you
Is
have
that
your
exciting?
friends.
Is it not
You have
better
your
when you're
friends from the other-
transported to another reality completely?
Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's cool when you have that's why it has the option. You have your friends over digitally, but in your house, so they're right there floating around. Just don't worry about it. You just please try it first before you bitch about it.
Stay out of my house is what I'm telling you. And it's just Mark Zuckerberg mapping your house for when he eventually launches the uprising, and every robot's going to have the blueprint for your house, and you're fucked. They'll know all your hiding spaces. They'll know where you keep your guns. They're going to know everything.
Yep.
Your phone is refurbished and from Korea, so they're spying on Ireland just because of I'm pretty sure my phone is Chinese.
Damn, even worse.
Even worse is right, yeah.
Huawei.
It's discontinued. Tsuki says, you take stuff out of it, then you make certain games unplayable on the new one. He's talking about if you take, let's say, eye tracking. Well, okay, he has a good point with eye tracking with games like Synapse or whatever. Although Synapse does have the option where you can point instead of using your eyes. But I think it would just require options like that. Use point. Obviously, Firewall Ultra wouldn't work either because that game is so heavily reliant on the eye tracking. But I will say there are a small percentage of games. Like, how many games actually use the foveated eye tracking as well? Like, it seems more often than not we're disappointed because they don't. Obviously, the Sony first-party stuff does. But those are the games that would be the easiest for Sony to patch, like a light mode in, or, many games use eye tracking, though you would break a lot of games. I don't know. I think either patches or just the fact that I don't think too many games use eye patches. I mean, most of what we're seeing right now is Quest ports, and many of those don't bother with anything that the PSVR2 has, like in terms of special features. Excuse me. Eye tracking is $250 by itself, says Brandon. So there you go. If you get rid of that,
easy sell right there.
Yeah, Tsuki already came to the same conclusion. People buy it and can't play Firewall ever. Breachers and contractors are awesome, says Brandon. Ignore the screaming child that you're about to hear. I wanted Ghost of Tabor also, but we're never getting, it seems. I think he said on a Discord conversation, they were sounding frustrated. They were angry kind of with Sony and the way they don't let them upload builds and shit like that so they can work. I don't know. I'm not a developer. I don't know what the technical reasons are, but basically it's like, but at this rate it's not coming out till the end of summer on PSVR2, and they expect to lose money on it. So,
disgusting.
Red flags everywhere. Dan would say it's worth this at $300 for Firewall, and he could listen. That the amount of time he puts it in, that he puts into Firewall Ultra, that's $300 easy. That's the headset for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame him.
That's what I'm saying to you. The amount of time that you will milk the Questicle, free games.
What are you talking
free
about?
Movies.
Replay
I think population one.
Piracy.
No. There's a bunch. There's VR chat. You know how much fun we'll have in VR chat. You can do movie nights. You can do movie nights with fucking 16 people in there.
Can't stream them.
You can stream them. Of course you can.
HDS says the game is not even finished. It's half done, but I don't know what game he's talking about. Probably Firewall Ultra.
Yeah.
Again, worth it on sale, just not full price. Donnie says, but with no new content on the horizon, can the base game hold up for 2 to 3 years? Hopefully, but I don't know. Maybe after 2 years, it's a different story. But right now, 10 maps, I still haven't touched any of the other. I've been using the Taylor since launch. I haven't touched any snipers, SMGs. Barely touched the handguns. Like there's still a lot I could get out of it if I bothered. But I just enjoy using the Taylor, so I don't bother with the other stuff. I barely touched exfil either. Nihilus says Firewall is still better looking than any of the others. That's it as well. It's nice to get into Firewall, look around and be like, oh yeah, this is why I spent €600. This is 2024 I'm looking at right now. How can the game hold up if PP wants a new PSVR that would remove a feature that would permanently break Firewall? Again, you're living in a world where Sony can't possibly patch it or update it or anything. They could definitely send a team of people over there to specifically do that one thing and then drop it again. Or shut down the servers and then it won't matter, which could happen anyway.
Shut it all off. Fucking put it on, fucking burn it together.
Actual is here. How you doing, Actual? He says, is about the experience you almost forget about the headset. Are you talking about AOR? Because I could just take off the VR headset and then forget about VR2. I'm just in my sitting room. Oh, there's my coffee table.
Yeah, but you can't play the games. You can't play the game.
It's a board game. You know, just buy a board game. Put Scrabble on the table. You know,
the board games, they don't move. The little characters don't move, and they don't spit fire and shit. You know.
No, it's not. I mean, just doesn't seem worth it for me. I don't think it's you wouldn't call it a killer app. You know, you wouldn't buy the headset just for Demio. AOR.
I wouldn't. No. Some people fucking buy it just for VR chat, so it just depends. But overall, no, I don't think many people would just for Demio.
Brandon says, "Wow, Toy Trains is $20 and it's not even good or finished." I didn't know it wasn't finished. That's the first time hearing about that. I thought Tiny Trains was $7. No, Train Chase was $7. That's the one we were talking about last time. But Toy Trains is a different thing made by the Super Hot developers. Suki, so Sony would sell headsets based on getting rid of what makes it stand out. Well, listen, count every single game on PSVR2 right now. Let's say there's 100. Tell me how many of them are using eye tracking in a way that can't function without it. Very little. Most of the games we're getting is ports. So if we're getting ports that don't need eye tracking on the other systems, then why would they need them over here? Obviously, it's a cool thing to have, and then you'd have the option of staying with your premium PSVR2 where it would work there. But in terms of I think they might need to do a drastic move to move headsets, you know. And the best thing they can do is to drop the price, and the best price they can get it to is $299. Even $400 for now would be nice, but
yeah, $400 I think it's realistic.
More realistic maybe, but look at there's still $600 over here. So, I mean, they upped the price of the PS5. PS5 came out, it was $400. I think it's $450 now or something. Or was it $450?
The Irish tax.
I can't remember. Oh yeah, that didn't happen in America, but it happened all over the world.
Damn, the inflation.
No, well, that's the reason they gave. Even though they wouldn't dare do it to their precious American consumers, you know, bitches.
Thank you.
The only feature that Sony should maybe do away with is the headset rumble. It makes the headset less comfy. Can you? I don't know. Would that be an expensive thing? Like, would they save much by getting rid of it? I feel like the eye tracking is the big one, because people always talk about how that's expensive. Tasuki says, forget removing stuff. At this point, they should drop $100 off the headset, because over time the price of stuff goes down, and also lets us buy controllers. That doesn't happen anymore. That does not happen anymore. With the PS4 didn't drop until PS4 Pro came out, and then the PS4 Pro vanished once the PS5 came out, so that they never had to drop the price of that, and they could keep that same price for PS5s. And PS5, like I've just said, has gone up in price. So we don't live in those times anymore. Free porn, says Brandon. AOR porn? Maybe AOR porn. That could be the way. That's the killer app for AOR. Have it so that the girl looks like she's in the bed with you. Or the man for jackpot. LSB says you can do more than just play games on the Quest 3. Yeah, but you can do that on the Quest 2 as well. Like what? Yeah, I'm talking about Quest 3 only.
Yeah.
You know? Oh man, my throat's getting bad. I'm gonna move on to the next topic.
Dick sucking.
Yeah, must be. Next topic is Overdark, which we already know about. We already know the release days. Actually, this is the one time where us Europeans are being treated with royalty over here compared to ye. Because, what's the days again? It's coming out on the 7th. It's coming out on Thursday for me, and you've got to wait until the 16th if you want to play this, because you're trash.
Nope.
You're lower class. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because the trophy list has been posted up on PSN Profile. So if you're someone who's big into trophies, it does have a platinum. Which is a good indication. Usually that's not just a small little experience kind of a game, that there's some meat to it. But yeah, you can look them up if you want. I'm not going to go into that in details. I don't like looking at the trophies in case there's spoilers or whatever, but they're there. They're there. HP Puppet.
Ooh,
nice to
that
see you.
game's cool. Little game with the little ball you gotta put in the holes.
Yeah, isn't that Gachi?
The puzzle.
Gachi ball.
Yeah, that shit was the
Hachi or
shit when I was a
Bachi?
little kid.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
HP Puppet says Muzz is kind of looking like me. Damn.
Is he?
Important says you need eye tracking for all the photorealistic rendering, but you could still have photorealistic rendering, and it just wouldn't be dynamic, which is what Resident Evil 7 did for PSVR 1. Because if you remember Resident Evil 7, if you looked at the edges, it was all blurry as fuck. Like your eyes could look there, and the sharpness wouldn't follow your eyes, obviously, because it didn't have the eye tracking, but it still had the photorealistic rendering. It was just obviously much worse without eye tracking. Nihilist Ryan says yes, AOR porn will make VR mainstream. Okay, I take it back what I said about AOR being a gimmick. If AOR porn becomes big, then that's a selling point. Actual says when I bought my Xbox, PS5 was nowhere to be found in Europe, not in Spain at least. Damn. So you went to the dark side.
Damn.
This game looks like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. This game, I guess, is kind of going toe to toe a little bit with Madison. Very similar looking games.
Yeah. I think I prefer Madison though. It looks a little bit more budget.
Yeah.
You know, they put more money on it. But this one looks pretty good too. I like the puzzle with the ball thing.
Yeah. I'll try and get both of them. Obviously, probably have to wait for a sale if I can't get a code. I definitely want for Madison.
Just beg him for a code.
I've already asked for Madison like months ago, and they're like, "Beat us. You're
Damn.
dirty little 3,000 subscribers. Get out of here. You're nothing." And they're spatting.
They're real subscribers though.
Ezekiel says Muzz is having too much fun. He always is when he's hanging out with his pal Pumpkins. You know. Anyway, next topic. Meteora. There you go. Have you ever heard of Project Indian Hero or Indian Hero Project?
No.
No? How have you not heard of this?
If you were to send me the notes, I would have done research.
What are you looking at? What's on your phone?
What's on my phone?
It's in the
Did you
Google
send me
Doc.
something?
It's in the same Google Doc we've been using for the last
Well, you never
months.
told me because usually you tell me 5 minutes before. Hey, there's a
No,
list.
it's on that
Go
day.
and
It's
do
always
research.
done on the day. I just assume you look at us before we go live, and then it will just update on your phone automatically. You know, every day you look at your phone.
No,
Right
I don't
now,
care
you'll
about
see
you.
us.
I don't care about nothing.
Right,
All I
fine.
care is
I've
that
always
this time I sit
updated.
down.
Like the notes I'm
Anyways.
looking at are the ones you look at. Like I don't have separate
Anyways,
ones that are
Space
just for me.
Game.
Is what I'm saying.
Whatever, space game.
Oh, is that video out of focus there? No, it just looks weird. All right.
Meteors and shit.
So yeah, this game is from the Indian Hero Project, which is where Sony, they did this with China. They had like a China Hero Project as well, where they teamed up with developers there and tried to get them to make PlayStation games. So they've done with India now as well, and one of them, which they revealed a couple of days ago, was this Meteora game. Meteora? I don't know how to say it. But basically, it's like a infinite runner kind of looking game, but you're in space. And I will say, like, it looks nice. Visually, it looks nice. Like, if you look at the video right now, look at all the particles and the asteroids and shit. There's like, it looks really dense with detail, and you can just tell, like, because of all the darks and then the colors, like, it's going to look really nice in the HD or OLED display and the PSVR 2.
Does it have music?
Oh yeah, it's basically like, I think music is obviously, you won't hear it now, but so we got no release dates. It is a hybrid, so if you don't want to play it on PSVR 2, you can still play it on your PS5 and other platforms, I'm guessing, as well, like Steam. Yeah, but basically that's all I have to say about that. I think I touched on everything.
That's
already.
very cool.
I have to get on to India. I need India's email address. Suki says that's what Muzz was planning to do once toggle grip was patched. That's what he's planning to do once toggle grip was patched. We'll never. This is a window to an alternate timeline where you got what he wanted. Meteora as in Linkin Park, maybe. I just assumed it was Meteor with an A at the end for reasons I don't understand. Jackpot fumbling, give my boy a break. What's he fumbling with over there? Oh, the notes. Yeah, as usual.
No,
what are you eating? Are you chewing on something? You eating
Yes.
some Mexican bread again? Or is that gamer cookies again?
Gamer cookies. No, this is that. What is it?
This is a
Hershey's Symphony Extra Creamy for you.
Jesus.
Milk,
Extra
chocolate,
creamy
almonds,
right in your mouth.
and toffee. Yeah.
Damn. God.
Anyways, that's it. No more. I know. Okay.
All right. This game actually looks pretty cool. I'm actually, even though I turn my nose up at smaller games, but this looks visually nice. A treat for the eyes, maybe. So I might get this.
Yep.
Next game is Retropolis 2. It's now available to wishlist on PSN. I didn't know there was a Retropolis 1. I've never heard of this game before at all. It seems to be like a point-and-click type adventure game, where it's like neo-noir, kind of you're a detective in the 40s or whatever, but everybody's robots. And I don't know if you actually move around the environments. It seems like you use your hands. He's got like stretchy hands. So like you point at something in the environment and his hand stretches out to pick it up and inspect us, and you solve the case or whatever. There's some kind of story going on there too. But that's all I really know about it. There's no date. There's no price.
That's weird as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be good for some people.
For some people,
You know,
of course.
For what it is. You know.
You know. Maybe not the people who think Contractors is the best game of all time. But for other people out there, they might like it. I don't know.
So for the majority of people are not gonna like this game. Then.
Probably not. It's probably not going to sell millions, you know, would be my guess. But it could be a nice little indie, you know. You play it once,
Yeah.
you probably never play it again, but you had a good time when you did play it, if it was well
I like the art style.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I like the art
Looks
style.
cool.
Yeah.
I think they said like they painted every environment in
Cool.
VR when they were like as they were making it, and it was like 2.5 million brush strokes in total. Like they had a counter going on,
Damn.
so that's a lot of work putting into
Fuck.
it.
I love strokes.
Hella strokes is right.
Looks cool.
Actual says game looks nice, visuals and in space in VR is very cool. He's talking about Meteora, of course. Brandon says online co-op for adult VR game room.
Yep.
Trash. Next topic says Fozzie Bear. Actual says like Poppy. All right, next topic. Which isn't going to be as good now without Muzz here, because I'm pretty sure you haven't played any of these. What's the title of the video, which is
Resident Evil?
What's the best Resident Evil game in VR? Now, you could include Resident Evil 4 and Quest, but because I haven't played that, I can't comment on it. So I can only really comment on 7, Ace, and Remake.
Well, you
PS4.
tell me this. What's Resident Evil 4 on PlayStation VR 2? It's not just like Resident Evil 7, right? There's more VR mechanics involved in that. Like they spend more fucking money into doing that, right? It's not just a straight up.
See, it's well, yeah, you're right about that. But like between those 3 games, like 7, 8, and 4 Remake, it's kind of like a rock paper scissors kind of thing in terms of like this game does this, but this one doesn't do that, and like some of them do things. So, for example, I would say that Resident Evil 7 is a better game than Resident Evil 8, just in terms of like, forget about VR, just like if you're playing it flat, for example, like I think 7 is better than 8. Like the characters are better, I think. It's scarier, which I like. But when you take VR into consideration, like you said, 7 doesn't really have any of the motion controls and shit like that, which makes it more immersive for a lot of people. With 8, you do have probably the most VR interaction out of all of them, because even when it comes to cutscenes, you're still inside. Like it doesn't pull
More
you
than
out.
4?
Yeah, because 4 actually reduces some stuff a bit that you
Regardless
like,
of the
surprises you.
cutscenes.
Yeah, but
Gameplay
like-
itself,
yeah,
is it more
because, like,
immersive? There's more mechanics.
In 4, there's less than 8. So, like,
Really?
say, in 8, like in 4, if you want to climb a ladder, it pulls you back out of your body and you climb up. So, in 8, you're actually gripping onto each rung and pulling yourself up.
Okay.
And, like, when you're opening up doors in 8, you can't do that really in 4. You have to press the button to open up like the cupboard to search it for bullets and stuff.
Right.
But then 4 has stuff like the knife mechanic, where you're actually parrying attacks with your knife. You're holding like it's actually proper motion control knife and everything. That's way better than anything. Like in Resident Evil Ace, you could put your hands up like this to block your face, and that was it. That was like you could reduce the damage a little bit. But 4 has like, for me, the answer is 4, by the way, in total. But I did put up a poll, and I'll look at it now because it might have changed a little bit since then. I put it up on Twitter, I put it up on YouTube as well, but I did the YouTube one too late, I think.
What do people say?
So
probably depends on what type of game do you want, right? Because you say 4 is more actiony, 7 is more scary for most people, and 8 is kind of more in the middle. Maybe.
Yeah, that's actually a good way to put it, I would say.
You see, and I haven't even played them, bitch.
Yeah, but you've been hurt because we've been telling you about them so much. It's finally gone into your head. So I put up the best Resident Evil 4 VR game is Resident Evil 7, 8, 4 on Quest, because I wanted to include Quest because I knew people would be like, no, the Quest version is the best if I didn't do that. So I did that. And Resident Evil 4 Remake. I got 216 votes as of right now. So in first place, let's do last place. Last place, Resident Evil 8, 16%.
Wow.
Which kind of surprised me a lot as well.
Yeah.
Third place is Resident Evil 4 Quest with 17%. Okay. But keep in mind, I have more PSVR2 followers, so probably less Quest people, so that's probably slanted a little bit. In second place, Resident Evil 7 with 21%, which means first place is Resident Evil 4 Remake with 47%, which is like way out in front of everybody else. I don't know if there's recency bias there as well, but I agree with that,
do you think if Resident Evil 7 had the VR mechanics that some of these other ones have, do you think it will make it first place or it's not?
It will be tighter with 4, but I still think 4 would take us because 4 has a lot of other things going for it as well, like the fact that you're playing as Leon Kennedy, who's like a fan favorite. You're looking down, you're seeing his jacket, his cool leather jacket, which people have loved for ages. Whereas in 7, you're this bitch called Ethan Winters who's always whinging and moaning about something.
So you
just like me. But obviously as well, Resident Evil 4 is a remake of one of the best games of all time. Like people put the original Resident Evil 4 in like their top 5, maybe even top 1 game of all time on GameCube.
Do you think if we get Resident Evil, what is it, the one in Africa, 5?
5.
Do you think if we get that game in VR, right, PSVR2 with the VR mechanics and that, do you think that game will be better, or like people will vote it as their number 1 over Resident Evil 4 because of the co-op?
I think if they do vote it over 4, it would specifically be because of the co-op. Obviously, that's just, based on Resident Evil 5 as is now. If they do a remake, they can change things and make it way better in other ways that I don't even know about, so...
Right.
It could
but overall, people like more 4 than 5, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Story-wise and all that, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, people see 4 as kind of where it started to get actiony, and then 5 went too far in that direction a little bit, and then 6 took the piss altogether. But 5 still has a lot of fans, especially people really like the co-op of 5. But yeah, if Muzz was here, this would have been a more, back and forth. I don't know what he would have said, but I could understand. All these games, I think, are like 10 out of 10s. So that's why it's hard to know which is which. So anyway, if anyone's watching this after the stream has gone up and want to put it in the comment, I'd like to talk about it. Well, I'd be up to talking about it, which is the best one and why you think it's the best one. 7 kind of felt like a breath of fresh air, especially it was the first one you might have played in VR as well. It was like, wow, this is the first time I played a AAA game in virtual reality.
And the demo was scary as fuck.
Yeah, the kitchen demo.
Back in the day.
Actually, they had 2 demos. Yeah, the kitchen demo, and then they had the one that came out not long before the game came out. With the dummy finger, the mannequin fingers that you had to find. I don't know which one you're talking about, but...
Talking about the first one before the game came out.
The one with you're sitting in the chair and she stabs you in the hand and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit was good. Importance is I measure the quality of games in brushstrokes. How much syrup does Muzz have?
2.5 million.
Man, he's producing this. You think it's coming out of the bottle? It's not. It's coming out of his hand and it's going into the bottle from his hand.
Damn, like Spider-Man.
He's a true Canadian, exactly like Spider-Man. Syrup man. Lol, poor Ethan says actual 5 was less scary, but action. I'd say like 4 isn't that scary though. There is a few moments in 4, like with the regenerators and maybe the Verdugo or whatever in the castle that you put up in as a scary moment, but overall it's way more like you're an action hero, and he comes out with the one-liners every once in a while, like, you know, he kicks someone into a bucket of ice and he's like, cool off, you know. Doesn't happen, but something along those lines, you know. 5 was Call of Duty Evil, says Tsuki. That has to be 6. But 5 definitely didn't.
Which one was 6? I don't even fucking remember.
Man, 6 is the one where there was like 4 different campaigns in it, and you had like two different main characters for each campaign, and like you could do co-op with all of them, but it was just constant action and explosions, and you're flying a plane in China and it gets shot down and it smashes into the street, and Michael Bay explosions everywhere, you know.
Damn. So they went all the way.
Yeah, but something like I think people since have grown fond of us as well. So I don't know.
But it still has good reviews, right? I mean, it's $5 right now. Well, on sale. On sale on Steam is $5.
6
on the PlayStation,
6?
if you can get it. Yeah, Resident Evil 6. It's $5 on sale, but typically it's $20, and it doesn't. I mean, at least here, people seem to like. It says mostly positive, so I guess people really like Resident Evils.
I think like if the people who really like Resident Evil 6 are the people who like really got into the co-op. I would as well, because that game is like all co-op. And
Oh, really? I didn't know it was co-op too.
yeah.
Nice.
No, it was 5. Nothing but action. I hated 5, says Tsuki. Actual says 5 was light enough for me to play it without fear back in the day. Fair enough. But keep in mind, virtual reality would add fear even to situations where you think might not be too scary when you're playing flat. Anyway, I'm losing the ability to speak.
When you're playing fat.
So we move on to the fax machine, shall we?
Already?
Already. An hour and a half. That's not too bad for 2 people. We're without our Muzz. Anyway, intro playing.
It's that time again for questions and topics submitted by our viewers. So let's go to our fax machine and see what we have. Fax me harder, Daddy. I've been a bad boy.
Tsuki says you take out the fear, it's no longer Resident Evil. But there's people out there who hate Resident Evil 4 because it like introduced that action. Like you know, the over the shoulder camera, it didn't have the fixed cameras, you know how the older ones used to be. You know, the camera would be in the corner of the room somewhere and you just see the guy walking around like a tank.
How many questions do we have? Because I was gonna say, should we just ask? There's 20 people here. If they want to ask another random question, are we done?
We've only got 2. So only 2 questions here. One from Dan and one from LSB.
All right.
So if anyone wants to ask something, they can, of course. But I'll start with Dan's. Fucking hell, my throat's getting sore. This question is mainly for Pumpkins, but Muzz and Jackbot can answer as well. Well, Muzz can't. What game would you prefer to play? What game would you prefer to play out of the rotation? And what game would you rather play out of the rotation of games if that is all you could play forever? Let me try and understand this again. So, so what? So when he says rotation, he's talking about the games that we vote for every night, right? So he says, what game would you prefer to play out of the rotation? So out of all those games, what game is the one you hope wins, I guess, the most? Okay. All right. And what game would you rather play out of the rotation of games if that is all you could play forever?
So it's just kind of the same question, just different.
Well, one is just like, what's your favorite? And then which is the one that if you could only play one game, which would you pick? Like, which one would you not get tired of, I guess?
Okay.
I feel like he wants me to say Firewall Ultra for both. And I will say Firewall Ultra for both because it's the truth. And he says, Dan baiting Firewall. He absolutely is. But it is the game that I don't tire of as quickly as the other ones, you know? Like, I don't get bored as quickly. I still get bored of it if I play too long. But not as quickly as
I think a little bit that if we play a lot, yeah.
Every
game gets kind of boring.
But is there one there that you play, like you prefer to play, or?
If we delete all the games and we just have to play one, I will probably say golf. And that sounds odd, but I will say golf. because I always have a lot of fun in golf. It's not only about the game, it's about the social shit and shooting the shit and all that. So if I had to pick one that I have to save, I'll say that. But one that like I said, overall, I really like Breachers. I really like the other ones, but I think Firewall is the one that I overall have the most fun consistently when it's not golf. Because golf is, for me, it's a safe
Golf will
bet.
be my second. Golf will be my second.
Yeah.
It is really good. Even though it's a shit game, but it's really good.
It's not a shit game. It's graphically it is. But
Well, the graphics are fine for what it is. But it's a shit game. It's a cheating game.
because you're trash doesn't mean anything. And actually, remind me, I still have an emoji that you're gonna make for me, but I still haven't figured
Have you
out
picked?
what.
Oh, you haven't picked it yet. Okay.
Maybe I do this Muzz one.
So you like this guy? You like him?
Yeah.
I wish I could have the animated ones. LSB says, do you think it might be time to retire the Touching Tips title in favor of something more contemporary?
What do you mean?
Well, I assume he thinks because it's a reference to aim controllers, and aim controllers aren't a thing anymore that we use. But I just want to be clear here that Touching Tips is about rubbing penises together. It's about the head of my penis rubbing against the head of Muzz, Decepticon. Well, originally it was just me and Decepticon rubbing penises, but now it's me and Muzz and
He got the
Jackbox.
diseases from rubbing with pumpkins, and
Yeah.
he's not allowed to do it anymore.
So the aim controllers are just like a metaphor for our penises, basically. And that's why they have moisture droplets. You can see the moisture droplets coming out the top.
Because we like it.
Aim controllers aren't wet. They don't get wet like that. But we do. We do.
Oh, we do.
But yeah, thank you for your question, LSB. Donnie says, these questions are a bit lackluster. Guess I need to fax you harder from now on. Listen, I always appreciate the faxes because sometimes we don't have too much to talk about, so it's nice to see some questions to keep us going, even if they're stupid.
I feel like we had a lot of questions at the beginning of the first, and then now the questions are getting...
I can't believe there's no Would You Rather today from Brave. It's
Because you don't tell people ahead of time. You tell them, hey,
it's every Tuesday.
fax machine,
It's
10
every
minutes,
fucking
guys.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
You don't have to do
bitch,
it. You
but
can
not
do it
every-
right now.
not
You can put them in
everybody-
after every episode. It doesn't have to be on the day.
You gotta
do
remind
whatever.
people. You gotta
Oh
be
my
like,
God,
yo,
it's there
guys,
on the screen.
remember?
I do it every week.
God, I'm gonna remind people because you're an
You
idiot.
can do it. Yeah, you can do this.
I'll do
Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
I'll do it. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I said
very
thank you.
much.
I said thank you. Important says, before Decepticon, the show was just rubbing with pumpkins. Just dry rubbing. Dry rubbing.
Dry humping.
Yeah, with the clothes on. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Touching Tips. I'm eager to end it because my throat is getting fucked now. So, sorry about that. Jack
GG.
Boss,
Thank you,
for
Muzz.
joining me. Muzz, it's been a delight. Probably Muzz's best show so far.
His stamina, his cardio is unbelievable. He
Yeah.
doesn't stop.
He doesn't. That's why he's so ripped. Like, he's in good shape there. Maybe not ripped, but he's got a good physique, is what I'm saying. Anyway, goodbye.
What the fuck is this?
What are you gonna buy? What?